Welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror movie, and they discuss it. Today we're talking about 2001's Jeepers Creepers, which was directed by Victor Salva. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Erik, and with us for the first time, brand new guest, Ryan Baldassario, also known as Dive. That's what we called him as kids. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate the opportunity because I absolutely love this movie. I forgot about how much I did until the rewatch, and I am excited.
Yes, seriously, I feel exactly the same. This movie, whew, blast from the past. I very much enjoyed. But yeah, dude, welcome to the show, Ryan. I just want to get this out of the way really quick, just so we can move past it. We are aware, obviously, of the misconduct and the scandal and all of the horrible stuff that's surrounding the director. So we're just going to move past that and just talk about the movie and focus on all the everything else that went into this. That's not that. So, anyways, moving past that, Ryan, you and I we met. Geez, when we were probably like 11, 12.
Yeah, roughly that. Yeah, I would say yeah, because it was like 9 or 10 when I first started. When Ashley and I started hanging out with Kyle and Matt and them. So yeah, probably about 11, 12.
And you lived. I love the thing about like you is like you had a house down in Black Point, so you're like right on the beach, and you were there year round. So you were like the guy that lived at the beach year round. I thought that was like really cool.
Yeah, it's like if your family ever like wanted to go to Disneyland and you loved the week in Disneyland, you're like, oh man, I love to visit. It gives us a break away from home, and it's an oasis for us, and we can't wait to be back. And you leave and you go home for the rest of the year. Well,
Yeah.
imagine living in Disneyland for the entire time. You're like, okay, because it's just like it would be so fun as a kid because I had my school friends during the school year. June rolls around, and I would basically tell some of my best friends, be like, "Yeah, you're not gonna get a hold of me because we didn't have cell phones and stuff." And I was like, "I'm gonna be at the beach. I'll reach out to you if I can, but basically, I'm incommunicado until August. So see ya." And I would just be in Black Point and hanging out with everybody and spending like all day together, and then August rolls around and everyone goes home, and then the band members are homeschooled, so they'd stay till like the first week of September, and then they'd all go home, and then it'd just be me.
Mhm.
And that cycle continued until I was like, 18 and went off to college. It's just like interesting to be there around, but it was always the best, being with you guys during the summer and stuff. And then also continuing into adulthood, just like being able to hang out and like not just be like, oh yeah, we happen to live in the same neighborhood. It's like we're legit friends. It's nice.
A lot of frosty treat by yourself in September, I'm sure.
Yes, when they're about to close up, you're like, all right, whatever stock you got left.
I'll take one.
Oh my God. And then Ryan, I know I just want to, I don't know, little other family ties I have with you. I worked with your Uncle Mike, who I thought was just like the man. He and I got along so well. So I loved him. So, RIP to him. And Cullen, dude. Cullen is the man.
Oh,
Here's your cousin. He lives out here now. We hang out a bunch. He's the man, dude. So I don't know. Yeah, I like your family.
Yeah. Uncle Mike is the man. He is my dad's Uncle Mike. My dad's also Mike, so it's just like, all right, who's Uncle Mike? And it's like the different generations. But yeah, he was fantastic. And actually, a couple summers ago, we were at like a family party, and I saw him, and I mentioned like I was like, oh, you know Alec? And we talked about you, and he sung your praises too. So he was the best. And his kids are nice, and Colin, obviously like he was the best man at my wedding. Wheels,
Oh,
you can't. He's
wheels and dive.
Colin's he's like my ride or die.
yeah, dude, he's the man. Anyways, getting all the family stuff out of the way. This movie, dude. So, Erik, first time in a while or first time ever?
Man, I'm just trying to picture like trying to show a 13-year-old this and be like, this is cool, man, watch it. And he's like, this sucks. But it is 2001. It is still cool. I wonder how that 13-year-old would react if I showed it to them. Like, hey, watch this movie. And like when I watched it for the first time, I loved this movie.
That's old year. You're 13.
I think I was 12 or 13 when I didn't see it like right away when it came out. I think I saw it on like DVD or VHS or something.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like a in theater viewing. This was on on somebody's like
Yeah.
random HBO, or somebody had the DVD.
I didn't see it in 2001, that's for sure.
Yeah, mid 2000s I saw it.
Probably saw it. I think I saw Jeepers Creepers 2 first, possibly.
I think I might have been the same.
I think.
You guys know Matt. I was texting Matt last night. I wasn't like live tweeting to him, but it was just a couple like random thoughts, and things I was deep diving on. And I thought to myself, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Do I like Jeepers Creepers 2 more? Because like all the things that stuck in my head were from Jeepers Creepers 2, I realized. And then I was like, watching the beginning, I was like, I don't know. And then like I got like 35 minutes in and I was hooked. I was like, oh yeah, I remember why I just absolutely am down with this movie.
Yeah, yeah. This movie was so good, surprisingly. I completely was surprised. Eric, do you think if you showed a 13-year-old now, they'd hate it?
I think they think it's on the corny side with some of the special effects.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Like there's the
Okay,
one
all
scene
right.
where he pops out of the wall and it's clearly like a dummy or something. It just looks so bad. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
honestly the CGI doesn't hold the test of time, but the story does.
Mm.
And I don't know. If it's really it's 2001 encapsulated really.
Oh yeah. I saw this and like the overacting. I was like, oh, this is an early 2000 movie to a T.
Oh yeah.
But also like how people react. Like normal people don't do these things. Like
When there's driving and yelling back at him, like, what are you doing? Like, you just pull over to the side of the road. Like, you don't just keep
yeah.
swerving. You don't just keep screaming. Like, what's your problem, dude? It's like, I know these are like sophomores in college, freshmen maybe. Like, well, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. But the scene like with Justin Long, like we have to go back. Like Alec, if that was me and you, we were on a road trip. Even Ryan was there, and you're like, Eric, I just saw this guy in a bag get dumped down a pipe. A guy or girl, I don't know who it is, but they probably need help. I'd be like, okay, well that is the same truck that ran us off the road. They seem like crazy people. 2, we don't know if this person's alive because they're backed up, most likely dead. 3, I think we should stay away from the area and get the authorities when we get out of Dodge. And if
Mhm.
you're like, no, we're going back, I'd be like, fuck you, dude, we're not going back.
Right, right, right.
I know it's like a heroic thing, but like no one would go back in that scenario.
I was jotting down ideas watching this movie, and that Eric, that the first bullet point is, why does Justin Long want to go back to look for bodies? Like, I'm just like
Mm.
flabbergasted. Like, there's no absolute like, what are you gonna do, cocky freshman in college? You're going to save somebody? Oh, because the guy that ran you off the road drove away. What if he turned around in 5 minutes? Why do you think you're going to be able to go look into the house? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I guess it's like his theory was like he wanted to be a hero, right? Was that it?
Could I present, because they don't really give an argument, but can I present this? What if when they were driving before that, they really present that he's like a journalist student or like, trying to be a detective? I don't know. Give him some reason to be that like curious or wanting to like discover something like that. A writer. I don't know. I don't know. Does it need that
An
though?
EMT, even something.
Or maybe like at the beginning of the movie, he's like, I've never done anything
Yeah.
good with my life. Like I want to like help people, and he sees that, and I'm gonna help this bag because I don't even know if it's a person.
Yeah, and I'm going to
Yeah.
climb down this rusty pipe. Hold my shoes. And you're like,
Tetanus.
instant tetanus.
The sister's driving a lot of this movie too.
Or attempting to drive.
Right, and just ruining the transmission.
What is this gear shift going on? Like the action, the farting car. It's illogical. It'd be like, well, yeah, I'm just gonna grind the gears and then.
Oh my god.
Eventually, now it's gonna magically work. He's like, ugh.
Yeah, no way.
So we have to go along with it. I mean, that's a little unbelievable. But getting up to that point, I wanted to ask you guys because you both actually have sisters. Do you guys think that the brother sister dynamic in this is believable? I don't have a sister, so I'm curious.
Barely think that they're brother and sister. If they didn't
Okay.
say it.
Yeah, no, there's for the most of the movie, it's like these people don't even. It's not even like they were friends in school. They're definitely not related. But there was a couple scenes where like the sister, like when she's like, "Take me," like there's that. There's a couple other ones where you're like, "All right, I kind of buy that she cares." But the rest of the movie, she's just completely detached. And Justin Long too, like he's just I think the annoying little brother and older sister kind of dynamic in parts of the conversation were pretty organic. But everything else in that, nah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of bought it, so I'm like, well, you know what? I don't have a sister, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Well, for an early 2000s like horror movie that's not really focused on character development, it's a passable sibling relationship.
Yeah, they're like really mean to each other, and they kind of like shoehorn in the just like our mom hasn't been happy. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah, what? She doesn't sound the same. What's her voice sound like?
Yeah. So there was that whole thing.
Also, one other thing, the vanity license plate thing. Like, so are
Yeah.
they playing a game?
Yeah, be eating you.
Are they
Yeah.
playing a game where like we're gonna guess the vanity license plate, or are we gonna make stuff out of people's license plate? Because I'm like, no one in Florida in this area is paying for vanity license plates. No one.
Oh, definitely not the creature that only wakes every 23 years. Like,
Definitely.
where did they get the plate?
I know. I want to imagine how he got that.
He's in line at the DMV.
Registration
Yeah.
fees, you know how it goes. You gotta pay your taxes.
The truck like that too. Like I don't know. Yeah. So in case anybody hasn't seen this movie, it's just about a brother and sister, Justin Long and Gina Phillips. Is it? So they get in the car. Their brother sister. They're driving from Florida. It's spring break, and all of a sudden there's this like crazy truck that's just driving behind them. And it's got like the most intense horn that's just blaring. They see a yeah. I mean that's kind of where we've left off from there.
The horn is like a Mad Max Fury Road level like aggression,
Foghorn. Yeah.
and the truck is rusty and falling to pieces, but has the vanity plate and can go like 0 to 80 pretty quick. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is the exact moment we lose the 13-year-old. If I had to guess, like I'm watching it, and he's like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Can we watch like
Anything else?
anything else?
Really?
I really, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope they would stay interested.
No, I think that they lose interest there because then it's basically just the two of them in the car screaming, and then he drives off being like, "That was so weird. What a fucking idiot." Oh, pardon me.
No, you're fine.
You can swear, dude. Jesus.
All right.
I mean, damn, I would hope that a 13-year-old, if I was 13 years old watching these guys driving, all of a sudden this truck is blaring horns, smashing into them, I'd be like, this is, what's going on? I need to know more. I need to know more. And then you see bodies getting thrown down. Like, yeah, it's illogical or whatever. But, geez, by the time you get down there.
It takes off then.
So, yeah, so this is where I start thinking, it's like, all right, this movie I forgot because you don't see the creeper yet. Right? And you're just like, I don't know, man. I don't really buy this. And then it's just like Justin Long finding all the dead bodies. And then it's like each scene is just 20% Justin Long scared O-face. It just keeps cutting back and forth, like hard cuts back and forth, and just panning across all these well-maintained decomposing bodies. And you're like, oh, okay, this movie's kind of fucked up. Like, something's, it's not just like, oh, this random guy's like, maybe the thing he dumped down is like a deer, not a person. Maybe it's like a whodunit thing. It's like, no, this guy fucking eats and tears apart people. So you're like, all right, this movie just kind of turns a quarter. But in that moment, all I'm sitting there thinking about is like, yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm like thinking about like the mausoleum in there. But every time it cuts back outside, I'm like, what the hell is the sister doing? Go find help or drive away. Why just sit in the car in the driveway?
Dude, she was way too casual. She was sitting on the hood, just kind of like, like looking around, very casual. And in the background, it's driving. I'm like, okay, if you know that there's bodies getting thrown down there, you'd be looking around everywhere. You probably would be like crouched down.
High alert. And the car wouldn't be out there. The car would be backed up already. You would be out there.
There's some things, but let's try and focus on the positives.
No, I mean once he gets down in under the church, that like cavern, it really starts getting creepy.
Right. And then there's just PTSD Justin Long for like in the dark just being like, what I saw, and then the sister's just screaming at him like, we need some trauma training for the sister. This guy is obviously he looks like he's like a Vietnam vet, like fresh out of like the ward. Like he's shook.
It's like, you're only down there in the dark for 10 minutes, dude. Relax. Like...
No, but it's like clearly like that's her brother. It's like, and he's acting like that. You've known him your whole life. Why is he behaving like that? It's like, okay, he's clearly seen something. Like, imagine your siblings like saw that and acted like that. You'd be like, something's up. She acted pretty casual. But in the cavern, we didn't even talk about that. So he goes down there and because he hears something. That's kind of why he is prompted to like, drag his body halfway down a pipe. He hears something and it's a body that apparently has its lungs cut out, right? Is that what we're supposed to believe?
Organ, some kind.
Or just, blank insert here organs other than like what allows him to continue breathing for like the 30 seconds it is.
Right. I don't know.
But he also is like, he's pretty far away from where that, like, Justin Long lands splat right in the middle, right? That guy just threw the body down. Why is the body like a quarter mile down this little hallway that Justin Long finds? Like, he didn't go down there.
He rolled.
Or so we think. He could have gone down there, moved them, come back up, and then drove in the car because he can fly. So maybe that's a thing, but it just like, it didn't add up.
Yeah. Maybe he rolled a little. I don't know.
Just landed. Well, he just happened to roly-poly like a good chunk down. I don't know.
Mini seizure after hitting his head. I don't know.
Yeah, but down there, it's scary as hell. I mean, it's just like what did he say? Like 500 bodies basically just plastering the walls.
Yeah, pretty fair assessment.
Like preserved, all tied together. Oh God, yeah.
But I will say it is pretty convenient. Then of the 500, he happens to find the two people that he's like, aren't those like our friends from like like a long time ago? And he sees the ring or whatever. You're like, okay.
Well, that was another thing. I don't want to rip this movie apart, but like, so he knew about this.
This needs to happen because the rest of the movie is good objectively from like what happens later on, but like the establishing like foundation of the movie is just like riddled with what the hell moments. Like, so go on, like give it what it's due, but But that doesn't mean we don't like the movie. Just like
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
lot of like, yeah, what the hell is this about?
Well, they're just trying to get to hit nail on the head with the 23 years, right? He wakes up for 23 days. I mean, here's the other thing. The Creeper has a lot going on. It's a very much like It, where it shows up once every so many years. So the Creeper's 23 years, and then he feasts for 23 days. He also feeds off of fear, which is what the psychic said, or someone said. So that was happening. He also needs people's pieces of body to live or eat, and also bring into his body. There's a lot going on with the Creeper.
I think I figured it out, Eric. I think I've heard this, but the fear, he smells you, and then he knows which part of you he needs to eat, so that because his body part could be missing something, or like
what best fulfills his needs that you have? Yeah.
so he smells it.
That's a unique twist. Yeah, I like that.
And that's when his Justin Long's laundry is spread out, which is kind of a nice plot drop in the beginning, which is like, your laundry's disgusting or whatever, and then it's like the Creeper was smelling it at the police station later, which is pretty good. And then at the end, it's like, he smells the fear, and then she kind of like looks back and forth, but we're jumping ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So then, how did he escape? How did Justin Long escape? He just appears out of nowhere at the car, and he freaks out.
Oh, he gets to the church, I think.
There's got to be a way to go from the church up and down in there. I think they kind of made that a thing. It's like there's got to be a way to get out into the church again.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it like a thing. I don't know.
Budget cuts.
Well, he could have easily gone up the stairs and like dragged his hand against it by accident, looked down and be like a fresh body or something. Like we could have easily had a jump scare right there, but we didn't. Well, the jump scare is him slapping the window of the car when his sister is obviously she's sitting on top of the car, sees another car coming, and instead of getting up to wave the car down, gets into the car, tries to start it to drive into the road to stop the car, grinds the gears for a good 40 seconds, cannot go backwards or forwards, and is stuck and grinding the gears. The car drives by. She does not try to flag it down at all.
I thought she thought that was the bad car.
That's what I thought too.
Oh.
And she was trying to back it up to get, but it wasn't the car. It was a different car, like carrying hay.
Okay, I thought, because at one point Justin Long says, "Go to the road, flag somebody down for help."
No, he made it sound like, look out for that car coming back. If that car comes back, run down and scream
Then come
into
down
the
and tell me.
pipe.
Okay,
It was both.
It was both, though. You're right. It was both.
Okay,
yeah.
so it was both. All right, I'm not taking crazy with that. Because Warren, it was like, all right, I think he said like, hey, do this and also keep an eye out. But
okay. That car looked very similar to the.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like a normal car and not.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
Mad
The
Max
Creeper's
Creeper.
van that he after years has been like, what I need is a car. I gotta blend in around here.
Yeah. The flying's too hard in the daytime. I think
It's a pretty cool idea though, because the idea is he smells the fear, he eats whatever he needs, because after later in the movie they run him over 5 times, which is awesome.
he turns to dust.
He's fucked up, so he's probably got to eat a lot of things to get fixed. He's gonna be eating a lot of leg, he's gonna be eating a lot of arm, a lot of wings, he's gonna be eating some chickens, whatever. He's got 23 days to get his shit together.
He has one wing that pops out, the other wing doesn't. It's like, oh damn, he's messed up. Yeah.
They should have ran over his head 3 more times. They just should have done it to be safe. But what are you gonna do?
I also thought the shots where he ripped the tongue out was really cool. I like the shot of him standing in the road. That was really cool.
Oh, the standing on the road is great. Yeah.
Yeah, those are some cool shots.
And then, because the tongue part where it's you're like, what is he doing? And you're like, wait a minute, did this motherfucker, this guy the director just have him make out he's not just gonna eat the thing, he's gonna be weird with it. It's like, no, he's just going to get the tongue because that's what he needs. And you're like, Jesus, because Justin Long goes we should get out of here. He sounds like he's about to throw up, and then he's pulling longer, and the tongue's stretching out like Laffy Taffy, and the sister's trying to turn the car, and it's we need to, and you can just see his anxiety. It's we need to get the fuck out of here. Yes, that cut back and great. That's great.
Real quick, Alec.
What's up?
Pride of Connecticut, Justin Long.
Oh
Fairfield,
yeah, dude.
Fairfield boy. I think we've had him in another movie. You had him in Barbarian, right?
Yep. Barbarian. I might have mentioned it for you in lieu of you, Eric. I'd be like, hey.
Yeah, he actually was at Sacred Heart University a couple months ago, or maybe a year ago. He did a screening of Back to the Future randomly. I don't know. I think he's affiliated with Sacred Heart or something.
His dad is a Fairfield University professor, I think.
Ah, there you go. Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, he's proud of Connecticut. I know, Eric. I know.
Proud of CT Fairfield.
That's what we always say, Ryan. Actually, you work at UConn. You're proud of Connecticut too.
Ryan, you're proud of Connecticut. Just to let you know.
Yeah. Well, it's the little things we try to do for the people.
No, you really are proud of Connecticut. You're a Connecticut guy. You like Connecticut. What's the Connecticut? You're the Connecticut accent, Ryan. You are.
Yeah, it's a little There's differences too. Like it depends on if you're living in the cities or not, and there's different different parts of the state. Like Southeastern's got a twang to it. Hartford's got a different flavor to it because it's a lot of more like mix of cultures. But
Mm.
yeah, it's like a Boston like on like minus 110%, but like it has like parts of that like little inflections.
Connecticut is big on, you're doing it right now, the like, when we say it's like
Yeah,
we
the like
Connecticut
is
is
hard.
huge on saying it's like this. That's Connecticut, big time.
Yeah, I mean, Eric and I, we grew up in the exact same town, so we should have relatively the same accent. I think we kind of do. I don't know.
Yeah, you just sound stupider than me, but you're fine. Yeah,
I
you're
sound stupid.
good.
Yeah, it's just that idiot inflection. It's,
Yeah.
it's just a little differentiator.
It's good. All right, back to the movie. All right, so we got to the pipe scene, road scene, sick. What else is going on?
So I was gonna say my favorite shot actually of the entire movie is right before before he bites the tongue off, and he's on the car as it's driving,
In
and
the
they're just,
back.
dude, I thought that was so sick. And they hear the song on the radio that's just like Jeeper, and it's just like some
We got the
80s.
peepers. Well, it's an 80s version though. Yeah.
Yeah, and I downloaded it and listened to it. It's pretty weird, but I kind of like it. It's called Peekaboo. It's out there, but I found it. It's interesting. But I love that shot, dude, where he's standing on the car and it's just like in the background. It's so good. I love that.
Yeah, it's weird because as the movie is going on the first like 30 minutes or so, you're like at times you're like this is kind of hacky. Like it's just like that. There's just like it's a little like it seems just a little raw. And then as you get like to the point where like you actually get to start interacting with the creeper, I just feel like I don't know if it's just like if it's the quality of the shots, if it's just something with the lighting and like just the settings. I guess it's not just like cornfields in the background, but it just like feels like it tightens up a lot.
I think later in the movie it does. I think like right at the one shot that really stands out for the corniness is when they see the laundry and it like cut shots at whatever up to the cars like and I'm just like why they do that. But after that I like everything.
Yeah.
They bring in the psychic lady, which throws a little wrench into it, but she's the explainer. She explains pretty much what's going on.
Right.
It's just the easy. I always get it wrong, but the Deus Ex Machina, like just the perfect. Like, oh, you know what? You know what we need? We're in a small town podunk police station. You know who helped us once on a criminal investigation was a small town podunk medium, and she's been having
Right.
dreams and somehow knows the number to the diner where these people stop for police help. And you're just like, okay, yeah.
It's wild. And everyone in that diner was crazy too. It was just like,
Yeah.
Dude, that lady's gonna be on like a True Detective show on like Investigative Discovery, and then she's also gonna be on like Unsolved Mysteries because of this event now. Like that lady's gonna be on everything after this.
Yeah.
I wish I don't know if she's in the sequel or not. I can't remember.
I wish one thing they did, and Robin Williams said it best, the only psychics, especially down in the South, like you need the real old Louisiana psychics. Like none of the, what was it? What do you say? What's the Miss Cleo? Remember those commercials of Miss Cleo?
Yeah.
Jamaican. Like, oh, baby, you got to dump his ass. He cheating on you.
She's not like that.
No, but Louisiana psychics are like, you're going to die. You better fuck. Like I wanted like that to be this, and she just seemed like such a normal person.
I like her.
This psychic. I know she was nice, but also another thing, she's like, they're asking her like, do things ever change in your psychic views?
Do you ever get them wrong?
You ever get them
Do they
wrong?
ever change?
And she's like, no, pretty much. And why would she even show up to this shit if that's the case? Like, she saw all this stuff, Justin Long's eyeballs out of his skull, everything, and she's like, I'm gonna show up to this. Like, no, I'm steering clear of this psychic view.
Well, maybe if she sees herself in it, she has to do it. Otherwise,
Okay.
like,
Okay.
who knows? If she
This-
doesn't,
Yeah.
she's like maybe afraid not to do it. She's like, oh, what if she just like locks herself in a closet? And she's like, it's happening without me, and the universe just like ends. I don't know.
I mean,
Like, what would you do? What would you do, Eric? If you saw visions, would you be like, I have to go do it, or would you?
I would try.
avoid it?
I would help where I can, but like, man, I don't know. This one's a rough one.
Side tangent for another wheel entry at some point. The Dead Zone is the entire premise you're just talking about. So,
Oh,
Christopher Walken,
uh,
the movie.
yeah, okay. I guess we could do the Walken movie because it's the story itself, and like the Anthony Michael Hall show is too many episodes. But Dead Zone, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's what the Dead Zone is. It's about a psychic who's like, like,
yeah, because he's a normal dude, then he gets like a concussion, and then when he wakes up, he's like, oh no, when I touch people, I see what they do in the future, and I meet this politician, and Jesus Christ,
I've never seen the Dead Zone actually. I know Christopher Walken's in it.
You would love it, Alec.
I only know is he touches people and then he sees something. I think how they die, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the way this movie ends is, they're at the police station, they finally get help, which is pretty rare for a horror movie, no, actually, no, it's not.
I love that police scene, dude. It reminded me so much of Terminator 1, which is the best
Right.
scene in Terminator
Oh,
1, where like he
Yes.
takes out all the cops, and I freaking thought it was sick.
Kind of. I forgot they were there. That's the thing at the end when they all, like, broke that window down when the creeper
they came
has
back in
Justin Long's
SWAT
head.
gear and they're like,
Yeah.
what? Why didn't you do this in the beginning?
That's cool.
Right.
That's really cool. I love that scene.
Yeah, I was happy they were there, but I thought they were all dead. But yeah, basically the creeper comes in and just kills a bunch of people. But yeah, it's scary, dude. Like that part's it's pretty intense. It kind of reminds me of like Pumpkinhead a little bit, Eric.
A little
Oh,
bit too.
Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
Oh my
You seen Pumpkinhead, Ryan?
yes.
Well, it's crazy you
Yeah,
say
it's
that because
good.
what's his name? Lance Hendrickson is in Terminator 1 and also in Pumpkinhead. So we're just connecting so many dots right now.
Right, you're right. But yeah, it ends. The psychic is holding Justin Long's face basically, and she's like, one of you is gonna die listening to Jeepers
Yeah.
Creepers." And it's like, and your eyes are gonna get replaced or whatever. And it's just like, which one of us?
She's like, I don't know. Do I? And you're like,
Well, she looks at Trish, right, or whatever her name.
Yeah.
What's her name?
She looks at
Yeah,
both of
Trish,
them.
Trish.
She's looking right at Justin Long, and she looks. Yeah, she should have looked at Trish because Trish's like, "What the fuck? Are you talking about me?" It's like she doesn't say anything. She's like, "I'm gonna leave."
yeah, she could have just looked at her and then not said anything and see if it could have changed. But she's like, no, of course, it's you, Justin. And you're like, oh, God.
Right.
Derry. Also, name Derry. What?
Derry. I know. I love that. It's such a weird.
That name is like Daryl and Danny, and it makes no damn sense.
And Barry. I gotta say one thing really quick. I don't know if you guys noticed this. The very, very, very intro card or whatever, it was an MGM lion or whatever, but it started off on the eye. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, oh, it's because of the peepers, like the Jeepers Creepers. But they should have played that song when it was introing. I gotta say, like, I know we're going back to the beginning a little bit, but dude, that intro, lame. Like, I'm sorry, like it looked like a PowerPoint presentation. Like it was black screen, like very whatever music, the white text coming in, and then it gets good. Like I like the long shot or whatever of the car, but that intro, I was like, why don't you have the Jeepers Creepers music there?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we want to make it a slow build and reveal halfway through the movie why this is relevant, which I guess like it has its merits, but at the same time, like you said, it's nice light foreshadowing that you don't have to reveal until about 45 minutes in. Still fine, doesn't hurt it.
I'm assuming it's royalty free, so like, yeah, use it as much as you can. Like the song's from like 1938, like go nuts.
I was gonna say I just figured out the Derry thing, Derry, Maine. That's where it took place. So that's probably a tribute to it because the Jeepers Creeper is like it. It sleeps. It preys on fear.
Or milk,
Milk, the Sean Penn movie.
dairy,
Oh,
like milk.
why did I think
Dairy.
of fucking Sean Penn movie?
like Dairy Queen.
God,
Why is that your first thought?
I don't know. Why would dairy be like dairy milk be my first?
Why is it named Dairy? I don't know. Why is Dairy named Dairy Maine? I don't know. Anyways.
God damn it.
That was a connecting the dots moment, but yes, we go.
That was a sad connecting of the dots moment.
Yeah, we're trying here. But yeah, so it ends with him flying away. He basically the creeper's like held at gunpoint, and he's just like, all right, listen, hey, I'm gonna just go, and he just flies away.
Trish is like doing the full on take me, and he's like, nah, your eyes suck. I want some Justin Long eyes.
That's exactly what happens.
It's pretty much it. So she probably self-conscious the rest of her life. Like, what's wrong with my eyes? It's like, we have a little stigmatism, your eye.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow, it's really a vain way to think about it.
You're a little nearsighted.
Yeah, so Creeper flies away holding Justin Long, assumingly screaming, and then doesn't she run after him just like, no? It's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do at this point?
Yeah, she's running through the parking lot as if she's going to keep up with a flying demon. Just like
That's apparently going like 4 miles per hour in the air.
yeah, just like casually coasting. It's like, are you just an eagle coasting home to your nest, or like are you trying to carry this very lively body away?
Like she would have to go all the way down the stairs, out the building, and he's still like right there flying, like do flapping his wings very slowly.
Also, at this point, she's seen it endure so much damage. She doesn't have a weapon on her. She's like, no, Derry. It's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
He gone.
So yeah. He flies away. We hear some screaming. We get to hear Jeepers Creepers playing the song, and then we see Justin Long's face with his eyes taken out and the Jeepers eyes jumping. It's like, whoa.
Cool.
But it is. I don't know. Like I really actually liked it. I liked it more than I thought I would.
It's unique.
Yeah.
Justin Long just did a lot of stupid stuff. So at the beginning of this movie,
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of all his fault. It really kind of is.
why were they going home? Was it spring break or?
Yeah, they were going back. He was driving back for spring break. I will say we didn't even talk about really quick before we end the cat lady.
Oh,
Crazy.
so you know who the cat lady is?
She's like a famous old actress, right?
Yeah, she was Mrs. Peacock in Clue.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out, like, I was like, this lady looks familiar. She's weird. And then when I look up the cast, I was like, now that, like, when you look at, like, her cast photos, like, yeah, she looks very familiar. She's also in Private Benjamin, randomly enough, Naked Gun, and a couple of things.
Naked Gun.
But she's just like a character actress. But she's, yeah, if you look in 2001, Jeepers Creepers, the cat lady. Wild.
Okay. Okay, so I'm like looking up her thing. I was gonna be like, yeah, she's that lady from like 180 episodes of some show you've never heard of. I'm like, oh yeah.
She was in Will and Grace for 6 episodes, and Seventh Heaven for 9th episodes, and
Oh.
she was just an old character actress. Yeah.
No, yeah, she's done quite a bit. I'm looking at her IMDb, but Erik, Lizzie McGuire. Erik.
What about Lizzie McGuire?
She's in Lizzie McGuire, the old lady.
The cat lady?
Cat lady and Lizzie McGuire. That was one of her
no.
last roles, Erik.
Hillary Duff crush. Big time Ryan over here.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about her death. You're like Hillary Duff.
So now I'm gonna, whenever I think of Hillary Duff, I'll think of the cat lady from Jeepers. Okay, we're cool.
Also, side note, she was also in one episode of the critically acclaimed show Newhart. Did you guys ever watch Newhart?
No.
I watched a lot of like Nick at Night as a kid, and Newhart was Bob Newhart's like he ran an inn, and it was the stupidest show. Like the plots never made any sense, but they were funny as a kid. So I can imagine like watching as an adult, I'd be like, this is trash. But as a kid, I was like, whatever. I have low standards. This is fine.
Yeah, that was Mama's House or Mama's Family. That was that for me on TBS. I'd be like, I love this shit, and I know it's terrible, but I loved it. Well, wrapping up here. I don't know. You guys have any final thoughts on Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah, I'll kick off. Need to do Jeepers Creepers 2 on the wheel. I think our next one is going to be either the spring one or the summer one. Definitely have to do that. And Ryan, we're gonna have to get you back for that.
Oh, Jeepers Creepers 2 is on my like Mount Rushmore of just injected into my veins. That movie is so silly.
Adrenaline. Yeah, it's crazy. Definitely need to do that one and talk about that and not shit on it. And we're not shitting on this movie because this movie's great.
Oh, this is tough love. I absolutely love this movie.
Tough love. That's a great way to describe it. And then Dead Zone, Alec. We got to do Dead Zone at some point. But those are my final thoughts. 2001 encapsulated. Hell yeah.
Nice. Ryan, any final thoughts?
Quick 3 notes. The diner scene, just generally, peak cinema. Just the way they interact with the customers. Then the random phone call, and they're like, you gonna get that? It's like, why would the guests that are asking you to call the police answer the phone? Absolutely love that. The fact that usually in a movie, like, you'd run over the creature, and you'd be like, oh, we killed it, and then they would just cut scene away, and you just maybe explain later, oh yeah, we did something else to really kill it, or you leave it open-ended. They thrice road-killed this thing, and they show each and every gear change. And there's some times where the gear changes don't work like immediately, so there's a little bit of dead space of her just shifting, and then peels back in to do a 3. So thrice roadkill was the closing thought for me.
Thrice roadkill.
I just appreciated how much they really like. You know what? We got a full afternoon to film. We could do it a couple times.
Ryan, to follow up with that real quick, the people in the diner, that's how you expect like a New York subway to act. That you're like, help me, I need help. It's like everyone's just like on their phones. Like, no.
They're like, yeah, man, it would be nice if we cared.
Yeah, I know, like.
We're eating our pie a la mode. Could you not?
No one said a thing. Like, no one, except you gonna get that.
Yeah. It was also, I mean, the way they walked into the diner was pretty just like, call the cops. It's like,
very privileged. It was like, oh, this is early 2000s. White people, they could just, they owned the world. And you're like, yeah, no, that's exactly how these people coming home from college would act.
Just scream to call the cops, like, who the fuck are you? It's like, there's a payphone over there. Go handle your business. Like, jeez.
The other thing to that is the whole town already knows it's in on it. It knows Jeepers.
You think?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They're just like, don't take us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my final thoughts is I love the Creeper, just like, I don't know, the lore of it. I know why the franchise kind of fell apart, obviously, for like the director and stuff like that. But
dude, we said we weren't gonna mention it. I'm sorry, keep going.
I'm just saying I wish that the franchise could have been more because I like the character. That guy doesn't need to be involved, but I like the character, and I would have liked to have seen it gone farther. because the third one came out in like 2017. Then they did a reboot, which I heard is like one of the worst movies of all time, which is apparently it's like a self-aware reboot where they do a TV version of this, and then people go out and they're like, let's go like check out where they filmed it, and then it happens to them, sort of thing. Like, so this like Justin Long thing is made into a TV movie that these people watch, and it happens to be 23 years later in like whatever. I think that's like this year or next year,
Is
right?
Justin Long in that movie?
No.
I heard he's in one of these sequels, which I'm like, how the fuck did he survive?
Wait, what? Yeah, what?
I think no. He's a cameo in the second one. I'm sorry, I don't know. We'll see when we watch it. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because in 2 they definitely have like the little like rhombus cutout of his belly button with the tattoo, just to really resonate. Be like, did you see the first movie? Did you notice that we mentioned his rose tattoo?
The paramedics arrived just in time. Like, oh, he still had a pulse somehow.
Oh my god. Be dead, please. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining, man. You were an awesome guest, and thank you for picking such an awesome movie to be on for.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. Yeah, anytime you do anything Jeepers Creepers tangentially related, just know that I'm on board, or I will support you in spirit if I happen to be claimed by the creeper. So just know that.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan, dude. Great catching up with you, and this was a lot of fun. Great movie. Let me pull up the wheel, Alec.
Yeah, Erik, why don't you spin the old wheel there?
Why don't you not tell me what to do? I got it, okay?
Whoa.
Why don't you let him be his own wheel spinner, huh?
Alec, all right, last question before I spin the wheel. What would your vanity plate be if you had a vanity plate? Hot take. Go. Hurry.
Shut up, Erik. Shut up, EK. Shut up, Erik.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I try to do like out of time, but like with like a still in front, if that's possible, like still out of time. But I don't know.
Okay.
Ryan, how about you, real quick?
Probably. It sounds so corny, but like hucking or discing, something dumb, something frisbee related.
Discus. You're a big frisbee golf dude, right? Or what is it?
Both. I do ultimate and disc golf, but yeah, something with throwing plastic. So.
Okay, throwing plastic. You can make that into a vanity. Throw in plastic. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if I have 7, yeah, I'll go with that.
Actually, I changed mine to lawless. I'll just change mine to lawless.
Yeah.
Doesn't your dad have that, or someone has that?
Yeah, my dad has it, but I'll steal it. I'm stealing it.
Take that from him. Just you can just screw drive it off and take it.
Just lift it. Just replace it. Yeah. Go to a poorly lit supermarket parking lot. Just kind of.
Yeah, you can take that from him, dude.
I'm in California. I mean, I could probably get my own. It's a different state, But...
True. Ooh, in California. All right. Anyway, spinning the wheel. And by the way, we had to switch up what we did last week. So this week I'm fake spinning. We're doing society.
Yeah.
We're doing society next week. Wait, let's see what it is. Oh my god, it didn't land on society, but society.
Society? No way. Yeah, all right, sweet. Well, that's a movie that we were going to watch this week, but we're watching it next week. But hey, whatever. But again, Ryan, thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming on, dude. And we will see you guys all next week with Society.